So I hate being on camera, but I've had some of my followers reach out to me on various platforms asking for videos. So here I am, completely outside of my comfort zone. And I just want to kind of talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm a trauma and abuse survivor, and I spent many years of my life in traditional talk therapy trying to understand and process the things that have happened to me. And after years of therapy, and my therapist was great, not trying to speak poorly of her or any therapist I've worked with over the years, but I always felt like there was something lacking. No matter how committed I was to therapy, no matter how great my therapist was, I still felt like a prisoner in my own mind. I was completely ravaged by anxiety, panic attacks, intrusive thoughts, flashbacks, and I oftentimes just felt like a passenger on this ride that I couldn't get off of. And another thing that became painfully obvious to me was that I didn't know who I was. Throughout all of my abuse and trauma, my nervous system responded by fawning, which is kind of shutting down and being the people pleaser, keeping the peace. And that led to self erasure. And I couldn't even tell you what music I liked to listen to, what movies I wanted to watch, what I liked to do for fun. I became a shell of who I once was. And I got to a point where that was no longer acceptable for me. I could not accept that I was going to be in this constant loop of hypervigilance and flashbacks and anxiety. I could not accept that I was just kind of this blank slate of a human being and I would never reclaim the person I once was or reclaim the person that I am actively becoming now. And I started to research nervous system regulation, somatic healing, energy healing, polyvagal theory, and I started to kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and see what stuck. And it took years of me doing my own research, implementing my own techniques, trying things here and there before I started to really figure out what worked. And when I got to a point in my healing journey where I was able to kind of recognize, like, wow, like, I finally feel like I'm in control. And I realized I moved myself along that continuum of healing where I'm not a victim to my racing thoughts or my anxiety, where I don't feel like I'm trapped inside of my own brain and kind of at the whim of whatever triggers or flashbacks come up. And I had gotten to a point of truly knowing who I was, knowing my boundaries.